Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University.
Hello students, welcome back to paper 4 English language teaching. In this unit we are talking about language skills. We have already had a look at the basic language skills and then we went on to look at the receptive language skills. Now we will be starting on with the third unit called productive skills. As you know, the language skills were divided into two broad categories. Receptive skills were those which involved main activity on the part of the receiver of the message in the communication process. This is the process of communication that we were looking at. So the sender encodes the message. He is in fact the producer of the message. The receptive skills that we were talking about so far were based at the level of the receiver who receives the encode message and tries to make meaning out of the message that he or she receives. In this unit, we will be talking about productive skills. Productive skills are more focused on the part of the sender who thinks about an idea, a feeling, a concept, and has to encode it and transmit it through the channel. The channel can be oral or written, and on basis of the channel that is employed, we categorize the productive skills into two major categories: speaking or writing. Speaking is an oral skill, writing is a written or a literate skill. Only those people who are educated, who have learnt the art of reading and writing, can employ the written skills, the productive written skills. All those users, even though they may not be educated or literate, can still speak and listen to a particular language. So we will be talking about the role that a sender plays and how to make the sender more effective in producing language and effective in transferring that message is what we will be now looking at. So productive skills, as I said, the sender has to ideate, create an idea, think about an idea and encode that idea in a form which is understood easily by the receivers. The sender has to transmit the message. So simply by thinking, creating, the process does not get further. Until you transmit the message, you have an idea. Until you put the idea forth others, you are not involving in the process of communication. So transmitting also becomes very, very important. Then use of an appropriate channel. If you wish to tell your friend that you will be getting late, dropping an email might not be a very good idea. Calling up the person and telling that please start late, I will be a little late in reaching the venue. So identifying an appropriate channel and communicating using either oral or written form is a very important aspect of becoming good producer of information. So as I said earlier, there are two kinds of productive skills: speaking skills and writing skills. We will be taking both the production skills together and there will be certain stages that we will be discussing how you can become a better producer of a message or how you can teach the students to become better in productive skills. So the first very important thing about being either a good speaker or a good writer is to be aware of what you are doing, why you are doing, and for whom you are doing. That is to say, you have to direct your audience and reader, identify who they are. So when you have to speak something, you have to know the level of the readers or audience you are addressing. If I wish to tell about my life to students of third standard, I would be using different kinds of examples. I would be using different language, different activities than I would be using when I am talking to you people who are very mature and very learned. So identifying the reader or identifying the audience becomes a very vital aspect of preparing for what you have to say. Define the purpose. Why? Right now I am talking to you as part of how you can become better English language teachers. I know that you people are the prospective teachers, and with that purpose in mind, I am talking to you to make you better teachers. But if I am addressing the students the same topic, I would address it very differently. Your language will be determined on basis of who your audience or readers are. Accordingly, the main material will be selected, examples will be selected, information will be selected, and it will also be presented accordingly. So preparing becomes a very important aspect of being good producers of information. Now I come to the actual act of producing. There can be three approaches to teaching productive skills. One of the most long-lived traditional approach to teaching productive skills is called product-based skill. Product-based skill is a skill where a sample is given to the learners and the learners are expected to reciprocate and replicate the sample. They are required to make the necessary modifications and follow exactly the sample that has been provided. For example, you may have been taught in your schools to write an essay on my best friend. Now, there would be certain sentences that you would have been given. I have 10 best friends, but the friend that I consider closest to my heart is so and so. And you may be asked to write an essay on one of your relatives. So you may make some minor modifications and you may say, I have several relatives, but the relative that is closest to my heart is my grandmother or my grandfather or my sister or my mother. So a sample is given to you and you can make bare minimum modifications according to the topic that has been given and strictly follow the sample. On the other hand, there is something called process-based approach, which is a very modern approach and maybe popularized in the last 50 years. It does not look at the end product as product-based approach does. It actually strengthens the process of producing. It helps reader, it helps writers, it helps speakers become better producers. How? By identifying how any text is produced. What are the stages in the act of producing a text? How does any good producer produce a text? It aims at inculcating independence in the producer in becoming free of any kind of support. For example, in product based, the sample is your support. But in a process based, there are no crutches, there are no hindrances, there are no gates that you have to pass through. You have to develop your own self as a good producer. The third kind of approach is called genre-based approach. Genre-based approach is often used in higher levels of understanding and higher levels of professionalism. This is also a relatively modern approach in the sense that it has been around for hardly 3 or 4 decades. It functions on identification of various genres. So, to make you understand what genre is, literature has its own subgenres like poetry, fiction, drama, essays. Now, a person who has to write poetry has to write it in a particular manner. But a person who is writing drama cannot write in the way poetry is written. Both these subgenres are distinctive and different from each other. You can understand it further by understanding that drama and movies, though they are related to each other in certain aspects, but they are vastly different in several other aspects. Both are different genres. So, when you are writing for movies, you will be writing in a different manner. When you are writing for drama, you will be using different kind of skills. Similarly, journalism, fiction writing, reporting, these are all various genres. So, the genre approach talks about variety of genres and texts which are specific to that particular content on that particular field. It focuses on identification of the unique features of one particular kind of text and establishing control through practicing. So, you have to first identify how a particular genre produces texts, what kind of text, what is the language used, what is the form, what is the content used, and by identification, practicing the same things till you become perfect. So, as I just said, product approach focuses on the end product. How does it function? Through substitution tables, gap filling exercises, a specific syntax and vocabulary is suggested to you. You have to use that particular syntax and vocabulary, making bare minimum modifications and changes. It relies firmly on guided composition. You are taught what you are supposed to write. You are also given the content to a great extent, and how this content has to be organized is also told to you to a great extent. So, what and how are also given. This is highly controlled manner of producing, and it focuses on the end product. This has been traditionally a very popular approach, and as you can see on the other side of the screen, there is a sample letter with certain blanks. You are given a kind of a format, and you simply have to fill in the necessary details and replicate this kind of a format in all other letter writing instances. The product approach has proven to be a very useful approach when a learner starts producing in the initial stage, in the beginner stages of producing language. At that stage, a learner does not have very good control over the language, does not know what kind of structures, what kind of vocabulary can be used in construction, in production, and therefore, product approach seems to be very, very helpful because it allows the producer to use well-defined structures and to use well-defined vocabulary. And therefore, product approach is advocated at the beginner level of any producer's life. These are a few stages in the process of production. Familiarizing the reader with the stages, with the vocabulary, with the structure, with the organization, with the content. Controlling and helping the reader or the writer produce the text, and by the time the writer gets complete control, allow the person to go in for free writing without any kind of support or guidance. There are certain advantages and disadvantages. One of the biggest advantages, when the learners are in the beginner stages, they require some kind of support, assistance and guidance. Product-based approach provides them this necessary support and guidance. But the biggest disadvantage of this approach is the producer does not have much liberty or freedom. If the producer wants to break free from the given sample, the facility is not provided. It restricts the creativity and freedom of expression of the writer or the speaker, and therefore product-based approach is advocated to be administered in the very beginning, initial years of the stages of production, where a lot of help and assistance is necessary to create a particular text. We now move on to the process approach. The process approach, as you recall, is an approach where the process of producing is focused upon. It understands, it recognizes that there are 4 steps in producing any text. The first step is called pre-drafting. Pre-drafting means before you actually start the process of drafting. So what do you do at that stage? You research your topic. You try to find out more about the topic. So if somebody wants me to write about cancer, so now we move on with the process approach. Process approach is slightly different from the product approach. Product approach, as we discussed just now, focuses on the end product, but the process approach focuses on the entire stages and processes of creating product. There are 4 major stages: pre-drafting, drafting, revising, proofing and editing. Pre-drafting is a stage where one person needs to prepare for the actual process of drafting. For example, if I am asked to speak about cancer, I am not a person from oncology, I am a person from language. But if I have to speak, it's not that I cannot. How can I speak? I can collect information from various sources. I can organize that information. I can decide what to present and what not to present, and how much to present. I can think about which are the audience to whom I am presenting, and why do they need to listen to me on this topic. What kind of information will be valuable for them? These are all steps of pre-drafting. I am planning how to draft, and that constitutes a very important step in the process of writing or speaking. The second step in in the process approach towards production is the actual process of drafting. Whether a person has to deliver a speech or whether a person has to write an essay, it definitely helps if the person writes down what exactly has to be spoken. Certain points, certain ideas, certain facts, certain information. For example, right now, I wanted to speak to you about the productive skills. So I wrote down what all I wanted to speak about. This helps us in two ways. One, I am sure that I am going to cover all the points that I wanted to talk to you about. I will not miss out on anything that is important. Second, I do not get distracted. I may not deviate from the topic. Because I know that these are the things that I need to talk about, I will stick to the point and talk only about those things that are necessary. And the third important aspect is, I know how much I have to talk about, and therefore I can time myself. I know that I would need this much time to speak, and therefore I would ensure that I speak at a pace, present things at a pace which will be necessary for you people to understand, and do not say things or do not take more time than is necessary. So the drafting stage, where the entire draft is created, is very important. The next step is the stage of revising. Its importance cannot be stressed enough. I think if I tell you this, that all the accomplished writers, all the accomplished novelists, all the accomplished poets have become so popular only because they revised several times what they wrote, will give you an idea enough of the importance of revising. You look for things which you have written. Maybe there can be a better word, maybe a better sentence construction, maybe reorganizing, maybe saying certain things less or saying something more, or maybe giving some examples may make the entire draft better. That all can be done only at the stage of revising. Now you have put your material together and revised, but then there are certain errors in terms of capitalization, punctuation, paragraph, division of paragraphs. Proofreading and editing, the final stages, help to make your text perfect and precise. So the process approach makes the producer proficient in these 4 stages of producing the text, and thereby helps them become independent and able to do things that they want themselves. So here is the diagram of the writing process: pre-writing, writing, responding. So sometimes you interact with your friends or your teachers, take their ideas, take their guidance, discuss with them whether what you have written is correct or not, can any changes be made, revise on basis of that, edit, and finally you are ready to share it. You can give a lecture, you can give a speech, you can print it, get it published on a bulletin board, website, or as an author. This is an example by taking the writing process, but the same stages are applicable in any kind of production, whether it be writing or whether it be speaking. I hope this is clear to you. I would now like to move on to the genre approach. Now, I had mentioned a little bit about the genre. There are 2 examples that I have given here. So, if you can see the first example, England won the match by 10 wickets, India is out of the race. That you can identify from the genre of journalism, news reporting, headlines. This is one of the headlines that a newspaper reported when India was beaten and lost to England in the race to ICC Championship for cricket. But imagine one of the players is writing a letter to the team manager who is situated in India, what would the person say? This is to bring to your kind attention. What genre is this? Is this the genre of journalism or is this the genre of letter writing? You can easily make out. These two samples belong to two different genres. One belongs to the genre of journalism, whereas the other belongs to the genre of letter writing. So when you become familiar with the kinds of words that are used, with the kind of structures that are used, the sentences that are used, you learn the art of writing in a particular genre, you will be able to write according to that genre better. So here familiarity is the first step. Practicing the conventions, the modalities, till the time you become perfect in them, are the key of genre approach. I hope you have understood the difference between product approach, process approach, and genre approach to writing. Here are a few kinds of text types, genres: exposition, reporting, explanation, description, procedure, steps that you follow in a recipe, writing a response, discussion, recount. There are various kinds of genres, and texts are written on basis of different kinds of genres. So to get control of a genre, it is very necessary that you read examples of the text written in a particular genre, discuss and analyze the structure and language, learn how to construct the text, try to practice writing on your own. Sometimes you may show your teachers, you may check your students' writings, and then incorporate the necessary corrections and then publish. Okay. So to summarize whatever we have discussed so far, we looked at the three major approaches of teaching productive skills: product approach, process approach, and genre approach. We are talking about productive skills. I will be taking up the techniques of teaching productive skills after this.